This Corecon training video explores another procurement feature called SCOs, or Subcontract Change Orders. Subcontract change orders are used to modify the original subcontract due to a change in condition or scope. Changes are usually initiated by the prime contracting firm. Typically, a subcontract change order is formally approved and executed by the prime contracting firm after a change order or change proposal request (CPR) has been completed. When an SCO is created or modified, Corecon checks the vendor profile for expired insurance records and will then provide a warning message to the user. A subcontract change order status must be approved with a status date before a subcontract change order can be added to a subcontractor invoice. A prime contract and the CPR or CO referenced on a subcontract change order all must be marked approved and have an approved status date. This training video explores 3 ways to add new subcontract change orders and will also cover information on how to edit a subcontract change order, or SCO. Let's take the first method to add a new subcontract change order. Notice from the main menu we've clicked on the Projects option and we are in Procurement, and we've already selected a project. That project has an approved prime contract. We also have a subcontract already set up, and it is also marked approved. Now let's go to Subcontract Change Orders, go to Actions, and we'll use the first method, and that's Add Manually. We'll select the subcontract, enter an issue date. We'll go ahead and mark this one approved because we're going to add it to a sub-invoice, and we're going to add a status date. The approved subcontract and that subcontractor are already selected. We can add a contact for the subcontractor and for our company. And we're going to just use the subject description as the scope, but hopefully you'll spend more time on scope. We're also going to request an extension of time on the contract, and we're going to ask for an additional 4 working days. Next, we're going to add detail line items to a subcontract change order. These can be entered manually. They can be imported from your cost database if it's been set up, from an existing estimate created in Corecon. You can also use anticipated costs or import directly from cost codes. I'm going to just add these manually. And click Save and New. Back to Procurement, we have a new subcontract change order, and it is marked approved. If we want to send this off to the subcontractor, we go to the Reports, SCO Details. We can print this out. This is a preview. The first page is a summary of the subcontract and a revised subcontract value. Second page is the details. And I can also email that right from here. The next method to add a new subcontract change order is from a prime contract change price request. Let's go back to the Projects, to Contract Admin, and take a look at the existing CPR. While we're here, we're also going to mention there is a change order that's also been set up. We're going to convert each of these into subcontract change orders. When we do, we're only pulling in the information from the budget. You can see this CPR already sent out a price request to 2 impacted companies, and they have replied with their bid and I've accepted the lower of the two bids in the CPR proposed items at cost. If we go back out to contract admin, the same is true for the change order. We're going to be importing the information at cost. The line items have already been added. Back to procurement, down to subcontract change orders, and over to actions. We're going to use the add from CPR method first. Because the CPR was approved and we'd already selected a supplier, that's going to show up here. And we also already have a subcontract. I'm going to select that CPR and note that we're going to import the cost subtotal and click Next. I'm going to select the subcontract, set an issue date. I'm going to use the subject CPR number 1. The subcontractor is already populated. The contact, we have marked it approved, added a status date, and click Finish. Information from that CPR now has been imported in detail. Total amounts, notice the total of the subcontract change order is at cost. If I want to print that, go to Reports, SCO Details. This can also be emailed from the same report menu. The third way to add a subcontract change order is to add from a prime change order. We'll go to Actions, down to Add from Change Order, select the subcontractor, select the change order. Again, this is going to come in at cost, not sell. Click Next. Select the subcontract that's already been marked approved. We're going to give it a issue date, assign the subcontractor contact, and I'm going to mark it approved. We're going to give it a status date. And click Finish. Information was imported directly from the change order at cost. Again, you can go to Reports and print the SCO details. You can also edit a subcontract change order. To do that, there's two parts. One is the SCO line item details. The other is the SCO header. We'll take a look at the header first. Click the Edit button. I'm going to correct the subject. Add a contact. And possibly even update the description. We can add additional references and add additional days to the subcontractor's schedule. Click Save and Close. Next, we'll go down to the details of that SCO and click Edit. We could also change the unit price, the cost code, and so on. And then just click Save. Remember, if you've edited the subcontract change order, you will want to print that out again. Notice that Corecon did check the vendor or subcontractor's insurance records, and there is some attention needed there. Back to procurement. If you'd like to know more about the information presented in this training video, we encourage you to go to the help articles, to leads and projects, to procurement, and down to the subcontract change order procurement feature. The information covered in this training video, as well as additional information, can be found in this help article.